Tamge doje shaje re zong zhong, shen jie me do du jie gong zhong bo, si jie rong bo do gu le jie wei, ka jie jia rui xiao la gu chan, si zhi mi wu zi to jie jing gu le de, ma jie xie jing wu jie da wa, tam ji se gua gu chen chui jie jie, si mi di wu rin chen gu jiang. 我们学姐眼界不同的这种环境跟见我你，让什么就跟我送同这边，特别那面小马跟上子，看到中这个东边几天那这些我那就我看我手到天天东边学见就那边不是不能都我他们今天。摩尔亚大爷给当不当的级别，中道大灭这当年，多军节这这些当吧，他们这些的大概就的都。Morning, good morning.
Shoge dele.
今天刚刚只谈到唐波他的那个做专门动汤的 forties 老婆是老双天的天天嘛的是属于。
And so then to begin this morning, as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to be, I will be discussing the practice of Tara in more detail. So we will go back into that right now.
天的大家当个做太阳哇南北区他娘俩起呀了这呢就节人这个绿太阳的呢啥人吧他可当个做三个我记我们家当的我记可当老有了哇天的因那样我这个那一个绿的样的呢我三几个嘛因吧 Ini luen de yang tene yedam kha yin ba do ta ka sa wang nang ba de te lu wang nang du rang ku lu yin la te lu da de ji ka sena khora ni de combination ro ka sena ko cherem dang dorem ji de ne ta lu dang la tene sa bom te sa de bom ba te sa de is bom yang ti je la ka sena ngasta zorem ji de je ta da 어쩌디 샤마다이나레다 카리나 고차데 쳔보다 틀리지 되네 고미야 그 힌다고 틀리게 됐어.
And so then, in general, in the Dharma teachings, in the Buddha Dharma, and in the tradition of secret mantra in particular, we meditate on the generation stage of the body. And so when we think about our body, we see it in the enlightened deity nature. And then within that context, we meditate on the mind, the nature of the mind. So it's not just the mind that we work with in the tradition of secret mantra. We also meditate upon the Yidam deity of the body. And so these two are combined. And so together there is this combination of the generation stage and then the completion stage. And so after we've meditated and familiarized ourselves with the nature of the Yidam deity of our body, then we train in the completion stage. And with the completion stage, then we train in the various practices of calm abiding, special insight, and Mahamudra, and so forth.
我在店里头呢，他谈到我从地囊了，他谈不讲着音吧的 page 1对啦，这呢他讲着的做开始呢，我说他제렘 공부요나래 조렘 공부요나래 되네 다 지 간리지 공부요나요 되네 다 투자디 되네 상질 토디어와 아 상지 줌되네 투구요래 걔네다 디 가서게 탱고요래 스테나 상지 줌된디 디 걔네 에직 솜샤비 추 디냠스네 비케 강자 어다 디니보들라 되네 에직 당어서 잡선도 유틸리 인도 정보들라 되네 점로 차디요레스
Um, so then, to begin with, in this practice uh, of Tara, in the beginning, we have going for refuge. And so, no matter what practice we are doing, the generation stage, completion stage, and so forth, what we are trying to connect with is Buddhahood itself. And so, in that way, we go for refuge until the three jewels. We seek to connect with the Buddha, the conquering Buddha. And then the teachings of the Buddha, the instructions of the Buddhas, are known as the Dharma. And then there is also the community and so forth of practitioners. And so, in this way, we have the objects of refuge that we take refuge in.
Okay, so we can maybe read once the text you have or no?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can read the lack. Okay, chosen Gundula, Homela, Zola, Chanjo, or the Dog, Jindu. Sebinjik Zolejo, Chanjo, Mado, Chancho, Semitambara Jitos, that it is.
Okay. So then, the Sikche Yore, Injigela.
Okay, yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay. So, um, in all the forms of noble Tara, in whom the three jewels are subsumed, until awakening manifests, I and others take refuge in you. For the sake of protecting all beings from the tears found in samsara, we arouse the two bodhicittas. The Tengri. Yeah.
So the next one is Shunedan Namnadar Soba Imako Hong Seta di Yamlenchea Shinda that they were Tere. Tak Katierem Gombinare, Zolem Gombinare, Karchi Gorsena, Chu Yamlenchi be Nekabla, Kariorsena, Namjudo in Natsuda, Jitendi Chik Nawando, Yorba, Jitendi Nawando Jita, Chik Santa, Mientang, Natsopa, Tonde, Ando. Jitenbi nawa yorwa. Tene om shune dan janam bendar soba ima gohan labde tene jik hande ke ordinary ke jik tokwa. Te tsama be jik tansong sambati. Rangi nelo korantana hedeva ipik ningbo rangla yowa te tene jiko chalame ndawo jik chasong sambanda wo jik chiku yors tade kechembo is gomjangkendi inade tene jik jena gomgen inade pe kechin boris ta ti dang la tene ji ben na cha cha na gom ro jam na tene tang wo ne ji dong ni ran yi ji dong ni de ya ji dong ba so xiao jiao ma yin ba ji na hong ye de me wa ting hong ne tene jang de ya tene yong bo le ta ta na ga zo jie rem le wa jie rem de ya tene dong ba ti nga ne ta nga zo ta da ta me bi ji lu yin de ma yin ba tene wo ne ta tren ka sa ba ta ra wa tene dur ma ngo ne ta ji dur ma ngo su tene dong be nga ne tene 이렇게 남성 이해를 나오는데 둘메 소피아 자고 상관도 오지 차비어로 어디 이렇게 모르겠어.
So then, next is this mantra, Om Shunyata Jana Swabhava Atmako Ham. And so here, with this, we purify all into the understanding of the empty nature of all things. And so this is really a ground for all the practice of secret mantra. When we are in this world, in this universe, and we experience ordinary reality. Everything appears dualistically as good and bad and so forth due to our various concepts and that type of thing. However, when we are practitioners of the generation stage, then it is essential that we begin by connecting with the true nature of the foundation of all reality. And we let go of all such concepts to really recognize the underlying empty nature of reality. And so within this, all appearances arise inseparably with the ultimate nature of emptiness. This is how uh, the true nature of the generation stage. So this isn't the way we normally mundanely view reality. And so it is essential when we practice in this way, for example, practicing Tara right now, that we really connect with her true nature and that she arises authentically as the nature of appearance inseparable from the ground of emptiness of how we truly are.
Tati nane, da pesce loša na dire, tati na to sutta kandi yore karse koran chadang shabdang do ala soba dati nga to nangol di shargo wa o dati ma hamugo ya yoma loša na dire des. Tenda tene ke ona dire sare sungri gube jono bombra jong bombe ngom le sungro yembe wu ben di tena rani da de jong go den do den do de hua jang jang jo zhen de rani ba me ye ye jiang ni jue jie yun ben de xiang ni jie jie ji dong jing dao ge xu ne zhi jiang wo da da de ne do ye jian zhen bei wong do long jiu zuo bei ge ne song du dong wo zhe jiu gen du jie kun jie zhe wo zhe lang de Sono desde lo yom jemo so that he lost on the degrees.
So then, next, reading through the sadhana, so we understand the visualization and how to do the practice. It reads, all phenomena within the scope of subject-object duality is purified into emptiness. From within that state of emptiness arises my own awareness as a green tom on a lotus moon seat, centered in a vast protection sphere. From it light streams forth and purifies defilements of the beings of 6 realms and makes offerings to the Buddhas. The light rays return and I become the form of the Lady Noble Tara. With one face and 2 arms I display the mudra of generosity, and I hold an upala flower, my 2 legs in the half lotus pose, youthful in appearance and blue-green. I am bedecked with silks and precious gems. The major and minor marks stream light, and I am in Sambhogakaya form. The 3 syllables in 3 places radiate light to all directions. Loving wisdom light of the Buddhas streams back and is absorbed into me. All the sugatas of the 3 times are my own form as the Great Mother.
That is Yulanga to that, Om Ariatare Sabare Wara, so do that Chapian the Endo. Pajikina Hingona Om Ariatare Sabare Ware Lavitine Tishula Tedo Argam Bading Bube Bube Aloke and then Gende Nivede and Shabda. So that thing also Perwa at the Chobata, the La Chobanga to Tamsama, Chobata, that not a little Senaricina, the should do the Gilo Gioris. Should do what you do, that Chobat Nizala Broa, Tindi, and that you don't Choba Mombo, you are that Choba Katakaji, not that. Always Katan Takwan Chitobiaji or Kumbado Mixina, this Mandawa Yori and Takon, the should do no Chin and Lendo Yoris.
아니 chudun on the shabda yomare,
Ayo
the
mari.
etang bobala.
Mm.
So, um, with this mantra, Om Arya Tare Sapariwara Argam Padyam Pushpadupa Aloke Gende Nirvidi Shabda Partisa Soha, we make the 8 offerings. And so uh, we do that outwardly. And then also on our shrine, we can have offering bowls. You might notice that there are 7 offering bowls filled with water, and these represent these 7 first offerings, and then music. The last shabda is not something that is externally material, so that isn't present. But these 7 offerings are something uh, that, even though in the tradition of secret mantra, there's vast and elaborate forms of, all types of outer, inner, secret offerings and so forth. These 7 offerings can be a basis of offerings that we can arrange on a regular basis that are helpful for practice.
So if you can, then this we call luck. The 7th argam. So we can wonder argam, Pading, Rube, Dube, Aloge, Gende, Nivede, Shabda. That issue la, hang on to the Dormalia, Changse do, but it's not on the major bench, Shabji Gomula, the Pombagola, the Montremeo, Changsa dos. They are Chobachi, in it to Kanda, then send out Najibor, Choti, Jatunchu, the Chanam, non-honing, Madame Yaji, lying all was a promise to Chanon, non Ju Gendola, Pame Gujor, Naja on the doors.
So then, continuing on, there is the prostration and praise to Tara. Gods and demigods, with their crowns at your lotus feet, pay homage to you. Homage and praise to Mother Tara, you who free all from impoverishment. At my heart the mantra circles round, a green tom upon a mundus seat, sending out clouds of offerings to all Buddhas whose blessings then return. Appearance and emptiness, non-dual, is the infinite expanse which is the divine palace of the Buddhas. Again from the mantra limitless, light rays stream out, and the outer world becomes a realm of bliss, and all beings are transformed into noble Tara as they chant together the mantra.
Can Om Dari do that? So that you can't get Ponchuan on it. So, Tayum then not a bemisiki, Chinam Chimbori. Tigana Yiki, not drawn at let any, in it, Mazuki Juma. Atela go the change Chigorwa, Jurwa Tangiore. And normal and Namjundo, Chino, so Chitana 24 hours or 24 hours, within 24 hours. La, not so long need Chiton Chugio, La Wada. Nia Jigla, right? Nia Jigla, you do tea none, that's 10% of Jigla, or naturally, and not a jig number new in bar. And then on something else, Namtoti. And David can read Namdot David Namdot Yan Dosi, Mamon can Namdot Mashavi Mola, this Kojic, same civil of Yungurwa, Tigala, Tenazuda, Yishikilum Chunju, Yungure. That is on Yirwa in that Tandanga Soji, and a bomb jabi can neck up. Tagana Yikichi, not down can neck up Rochina, Nay Yishik the new march of your. Attend ngã thi kế thế này chỉ ta ngã chỗ kế chỉ chỗ cái gì nào luyện được lần chung à ta ngã làm này sẽ làm này thế này thì cái có ta trả được rồi thì người ta thì cái gì ngã chân chung à mà thu nhập rồi thế này gì cái种long thì cái này ngã thì mình phải thì cái chỉ có cái gì đó 중화 정말 차년 바라와 밸런스 드네 치토 고요래 대만인들 드네 개탕 가서 다 나라고 말랑 라도 마고메다나 지 오너리 남도 마모지 샤롱비 갑라 드네 티쇼 티게 드네 고 이실롱 다 메바차로 그러와 드네 드네 지 뇽몽비 롱 다파 마인드 드네 맞아 유 쪽로야 드네 용이어서 됐어.
So then we have the mantra Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. So the blessings of the mantra are really inconceivable. When we truly recite the nature of the mantra in an authentic way, then even the nature of the external elements can be changed and transformed. And so, generally, in the tradition of secret mantra, it's taught that every single day we have 21,600 breaths, and then a percentage of these, like every one out of 1/32nd, uh, that fraction, like 3 to 5% in a way, this percentage uh, out of one out of every 32 breaths, it is said that this is a primordial wisdom style breath where the breath and our energy in our bodies flows in a balanced way. And when this primordial wisdom, this wisdom breath takes place, then we are not thinking thoughts about the future. We are not uh, pulling up and recollecting thoughts about the past, and we are not conceptualizing the present. And so our minds are dwelling without uh, concepts in this primordial wisdom. And so this is something that naturally occurs um, a little bit every day. Um, the breath flows evenly through both our channels. However, when we practice and we meditate, then more and more of our breath and subtle energy flows in this balanced primordial wisdom manner. And so when we authentically recite the mantra, then our breath and subtle energy becomes aligned with this primordial wisdom balanced style of breathing. And so the elements of our body even become naturally balanced and harmonious, flowing in this even way. And so, in this way, we experience more and more of these primordial wisdom breaths. However, if we aren't meditating and we're just breathing and existing and talking and doing various things like we ordinarily do, then this reduces the primordial wisdom breath.
그가 나 얘기다 나서 제가 다 뭐참아 직받아 말와 이내양 나도 직로 중중네 얘네다 배롱갑춘도 살라드네 직갑추 40 땅갑추당 10주 비트wen 다 텐디 제글라다 뭐참아 직받아 말 이내양 거지 나서 그 루호크난 단기 공투가 이래 롱니 직통 요 송거래 롱니 직통 주세게 자니 직통 요러와 자니 직통 달라 디다 마지 비게 고자크 누파 롱크 누파 텔레양 맞다 딜레라 마다 마다 텔레요 텔레양니 직통 요러와 어다 칸다리야 걔네 직로 십중업 치스마리 와돌라야 아치고 increasing 로 차기요 사러와 고 누파노 얘네야 다 직로 납추 예라 걔네 직자이나리 롱이나리 다 더도 참 칼레 뭐 냠로 요러와 이 냠도 다그 내추럴리 냠고 요리 이나야 나도 다 냠래 그나 곰자야리 그나 이 나다야리 드니도 지나 다 나서 지금 냠야 달라더니 제 까토비야도 그나 이게고 직다 그 냠고 요나 칼레 냠야 쿠클린 되니 많이 봐 뭐다 근데 되니 용고 요사리 나다데 그 티킨도 봐
So then, uh, Everyone's somewhat different. People have different individual circumstances with their body. However, in general, for healthy individuals, um, we have it is said that up until we are like in our 40s, 50s, and so forth, we have these 21,600 breaths per day. And it is said that these breaths and subtle energies flow throughout the 21,600 subtle channels in our body. Also, these serve to uh, kind of nourish the uh, various bindus, subtle essences within our body. And so it is taught in the tradition of secret mantra that until we're like in our 40s and 50s and so forth, for healthy individuals, um, our winds and essences and so forth increase in strength. And then after we get into our 50s and so forth, our breath, our subtle energy and channels and essences and so forth, these decrease. And so this is for an ordinary individual. However, when we practice secret mantra and we do, for example, the recitation of a secret mantra and other subtle energy practices and so forth, instead of uh, our energies naturally declining, we are able to halt and stop and interrupt that decline so that at the very least, when we really dedicate ourselves to mantra recitation and these subtle energy practices, the decline of our subtle energies and essences and so forth becomes much less, and so we do not decline in the same way as ordinary individuals. And so this is part of the power of mantra recitation.
that thing that day ngā rāng sabi shūgula tene dare sohas Eki pare tana argan baden gube offeng jekche tene ti shūgula toba jekche tene that page I don't know it's next the dissolution. So dissolution cannot know to go you rang la ten rang yang me make ma chu chu ji wo se tong dam chu ku de wa che ha ma he pa na si cha je che se ya da ti gang ta ma dong tene ma to zorem la wa tene on di ja gres
Um, so then we recite the
in
mantra
the last page huh?
with Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha, and then we have the offerings again, Om Ayatare Sapari Vara Argam Padyam, and so forth. And then we have the praise, the same one as before, gods and demigods with their crowns at your lotus feet and so forth. And then on the next page, we have the dissolution. And so the dissolution stage is the outer world and inner concepts melt to light and dissolve into me. I also become the uncontrived, non-conceptual Dharma Dhatu, the clear light ultimate truth of thee, great bliss of Dharmakaya that is, ordinary awareness in which all that appears is Mahamudra. And then we rest in the nature of the mind.
In the last kasina given the kunde sa yu ji kanyam ma gen ro yo do jo thonga rang ro yi he ching bu lo ga do the we ngong la ga do the we pa me ko to jo sta te de shu dedication cha yo des
And so then, after that, we have the dedication, which is by this virtue and all gathered in samsara and nirvana may all, my dear mothers throughout all space, attain the form of noble Tara, free of affirmation or of denial, maybe affirmation or denial, the expanse of pristine awareness, where the five poisons become self-freed.
嗯，我听你他谈到样，俺这样的，他已经老亚他了，苏普给他，他们空虚那些的 energy，这看上了他的 magic，my friend，你我心里有哇，
The moch,
这的超级，actually this lama，Sonam's brother，
uh-huh,
这呢，可能这呢，可以个 reject 俺了着。tene tika la ten do jigri ne ko te tat ina ko pe ha sa ko magic ko wa ina ko don di re tene di ta roba sama cha do wa ina ko le ba la chong she da chong ye sa ma wa tene te cha tene ko ta chi surgery lo chi roba te ta cha de jo song pa le tene pa ko ka da roba yo ma wa ko le ba thang pa pa ma to yo ma da ina yang ta ko tene chi du tene ko jil ta ta cha tene chi ko nyam na chi te thama de ko ta nga sa ando wa nga sa tene ta na bom tene lo do wa te lo de tene lam sang ko roba so yang bu zu do sta ko ta na de gas ma do ka chang nyam de gas yo lo do e roba me wa ina
uh-huh.
ka chang ga tu de tene ko lam sang roba so lo do yo but I also yeah
Uh-huh. Pache. So, um, one story in relationship to reciting mantras and the power of that. Um, this one friend of Drupan's, who's actually the brother of Lama Sonam, he was up meditating in the mountains and
yeah he
had
walk so he traveling through the mountains
he was traveling and had an accident, terrible accident where uh, his skull was fractured, and he had to get this really elaborate surgery. And
yeah, he the walk, so this in the Ladakh, so this Ladakh area, so very steep mountains. So the up there, I don't know, the mountain, the animals, whatever, this big rock fell down his head. So the broken like more than like how it has scar. So luckily I think that times maybe not really, but he long time unconsciousness, but maybe not really injury in the brain. But anyway, so all the bone is like broken. So the surgery, so before he said like this much in the no bone in his scar, just only skin and the brain. So then later on, he meditate and so on, but then later on he tried to chanting and then reading the text, like focus. And it quickly like bone is growing. So growing. So I saw in Vietnam, so actually I know. So now it's like not much, maybe like whole, like very small. But amazing. So this kind of the energy, chanting, and so that's we see how much, So sometimes we can difficult to believe, so this and that, But amazing. He just started. He's the certain mentor and reading the text. So Oda tindi ke tini eta nga se ya ko nupa tini yo sa ro ko so nga ke nupa de ja nupa yo re te zam ma zi be ko ji tin jungwa la cha nyom ba jungwe ke energy ina sa te yo sa ro
so this is the power of reciting mantra. And so, in general, just reciting mantras themselves has blessing and benefit because of the meaning of the mantras. But then also, as we recite the mantras, uh, this has the benefit of bringing our elements, our subtle elements and energies into harmony within our body as well.
Okay, so you do have some questions about how to practice that. If you're not, then we can.
Could you speak a little bit about the early phases of this practice and really pretty much every practice, where it's the sending out of light rays and then the returning, and then the manifestation of the deity basically from the syllable. Just generally, how should we think about that?
Right. So tell what I'm going to Sanji lam degree. That lam just Sanji go na. The top kashi yores. Kazan Jitan Kazan Jilata. That top tilla Karsena. Top jigla Karsena. Mazo Tombani, Tony Dogo. Top jig. Top nipa di Kisi Tony Tony Gomiabo. Jashin Yunayang. Tene 대바 매와도 근데 그가나 이 소남 그 야템이나 뭐지 남포 매와 디토비나야 다지 년도 라랑자라 소바다 근데 그가나 이나서다 난 부디즘도 디토고요와 베네 스피체모 과다 디토 근데 남포 매와 디토고요리 티팽이요 마 티리다디 아무 돈이 도고 와데 직 니파데 갈세나 대바 근데 숨바델라 갈세라 비나 근데 sonam ki jatenji ko is tin dita ore tatlande.
So, in general, if we are seeking Buddhahood, there are a few different skillful means and methods that go into the attainment of Buddhahood. And so, first, there is the realization of emptiness, the ultimate nature of reality. And then, second, even though it's important to know that meditation can be accomplished without the full realization of Buddhahood. For example, some beings can reach the state of the hearers, the Shravakas, the solitary realizers, the Pratyeka Buddhas, and so forth, but they haven't reached full Buddhahood. Also, there are beings in other spiritual traditions that can have extremely strong meditation, like calm abiding and so forth. This isn't just limited to Buddhism. So, in a way, just having good meditation isn't enough. And so, the second method, the first method is realizing emptiness, and then the second method is cultivating faith. And then the third is the supportive practice of accumulating merit.
Tata naga generation stage dela ta na koran te trabatere tini ta nga sonam ji so karsena ta nga tela nga so dine ni yung go ta ya choba phuya ti nga teng de tini nga teng ko nga ta om dare du dare dore sidu nga so kundu so mo choba la go do tini ta je ta om dare dore I don't know 이게 누이나 ji ji wa ti 이게 더 손에 tini wazer yigere la wazer nga to tine maro wazer je kijila nga tin multiple the limitless no chine ti ke wazer re ke zela tine chobe kla mo tine chine tine ji sanje ta tine changjob samba o da tine ke tine ji ta be ya da ke ta konjo som o da nga to la ma yedam kando to som ya choba pu som samba che wa nga dong de ga tine choba pu som som Tene tiin choba pru tsane, tene yang wazere tuzo tsamji ta rangi nye kala tsor yung. Ti kabla kari yung zina, nga sanje tang, changjob samba tang, ama ye tang kando chuchong la sobe ki tene, chik Guye chenla, zonge chenla, toge chenla, da tiri nupa tsangma rang tem song zamba. Tindi chi ya choba kuya chi. Tene yang, nga zo yang nga rang, dewe kabla, tene nga rang tili yang, waze ma chko ne. Ta ndowa rek chuk yorwa, ndowa rek do la tene, kanye yore chi. Ndowa rek chuk te yang tene, la yang kanye yore, la chimbo dungi kanye yore. Gana ye ke tene, jik hami na kanye yore, tek tapsu. Mei na je gana chi kanye yore. Gana ida chendo ina kuchu ke la yore. Tene ta nye sono to so la tene kanye yorwa. O ti kanye kang yorwa te nye nga rong iki nipa tala tene ne je pagi la kang ta chik. Zo kinto wa rido kanye so fama si sono. Samba chi pe sincerely ki tene chik nyingi kiene. Pe la tam chi tene chi na tene rang ke dangzi tene shek do kuro. Rang dangzi shek du. Ta rang dangzi shek vi na tene sentient shenpa la pan to to yorwa. 오다 틴디 지도 틴디 지가 때는 하나서 소남 자지 뭐 힘이 쏘는 디 소남 디기 누페 또 디기 근데 직도 다 자자 침보선 돈이 또왜 토라 근데 나도다 배나 샘트 숨고도와 샘트랑 가도 돼 아지 돈이 도도 갈세나 아 돈이 또바 틀을 때는 되네 나도 샘이랑 이 우세와 세다 뭐네 나도 시대월이 있는 거데 되네 지 자태 서포트 지는데 대박당 소남이가 때네 근데 가서 뭐 좋은 거로 봐 근데 답변은 지 남도 지보 가디위나 지다 소로 노티스 용그레 되네요 뭐 샘이랑 유세와 뭐는 통통 말아 봐 근데 디그 소남 그 자태니 저 참아 로로치리 근데 뭐는 샘이랑 유세와 통해서 봐 상디스 세요
So then, when we do the generation stage, so we are talking about these three methods of realizing emptiness, cultivating faith, and accumulating supportive merit. So when we do the generation stage, this is a method by which we can accumulate a vast amount of merit. And so, with the mantras that we recite, in a way, we are making uh, offerings. For example, one of the ways we can recite the mantras is that we, as we recite the mantra Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha, then light rays begin to spread out from the seed syllable Tam and the mantra chains. And these fivefold kind of light rays emanate into other like fivefold streams. And so these uh, light rays multiply and multiply as they extend out from our heart center. And we can imagine that, like offering clouds of Samantabhadra, these make limitless offerings to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, three jewels, the gurus, the yidams, the dakinis, and all of these enlightened beings throughout the universe are delighted and pleased with these infinite offerings. And so then, as the light rays then return back into our heart center, we imagine that all of their blessings of enlightened body, speech, and mind then come back to dissolve into ourselves and the seed syllable within our heart center, and we are blessed and consecrated as the nature of enlightened body, speech, and mind. And then we imagine that light rays again radiate out from our heart center and go out down to all the sentient beings in the six realms, the hell realm, the hungry ghost realm, the animal realm, the human realm, the demigod realm, the god realm. And these purify all the troubles and problems in each of these realms and all the infinite beings within these realms. In the human realm, there are the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death. In the animal realm, there are the sufferings of being a beast, a burden, fear, and so forth. And all these problems are dispelled and so forth. And so, as we do this, and we, with compassion, seek to alleviate all the sufferings of all cyclic existence. This simultaneously, as we do this, this lessens our self-clinging and frees us from, it destroys our self-grasping and attachment. And so, in this way, we accumulate a vast amount of merit. And through training in this way, reciting secret mantra and accumulating such vast merit, then we really have the merit to recognize and realize and abide within our own true ultimate Buddha nature, which is the ground luminosity of the naturally luminous nature of the mind. And so, without a lot of merit, we might have like a glimpse of this for a moment and so forth. However, as we accumulate more and more of this infinite, vast, selfless merit, then we are able to fully realize and abide within that realization of the ultimate luminous nature of reality.
Other questions? No?
On a more simple or practical level about actually saying the mantra, in all the various texts, there are suggestions about repeating the mantra clearly, saying the syllables and all that. But in many times in years past, when I'm with a group and we start doing mantras at our own rate, people will go very fast, so fast that it seems to me that you're not really saying, you know, Om Tare Tu Tare Puri Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Puri Soha, Om Tare Tu, you know, hitting the bead on the mala so you can get as many malas like that. And I know the intention is to say the mantra. The person is probably not, how could I phrase it, doing something bad or evil, but does it really make a difference? Shouldn't you say Om Tare Tu Tare Puri Soha distinctly and pronounce each syllable, whether it's Tara or Chandretsik or Vajrasattva or Amitayu, you know, any mantra? So would you say a little bit about pronunciation and the need for it, how important it is?
Yeah. So there's some people has that they call the six tongues.
Thick tongue, yes.
The six tongues they do quickly. Maybe some people only one tongue and it's slow. It's quite joking. But joking. Yeah, actually you said this. They said yes, depending, you know, not too slow, you know, not too fast. So and also during the mantra practice it's taken so kind of like really balance, you know. Sometimes too much worry, oh, my pronunciation is okay or not, or this right or wrong, or there's no worry about, you know. But also your attention, yes, you can focus, you know, a clear pronunciation. It's good, you know. So I think, yeah, like this. I think they said that it's not too fast, not too slow. Right.
Could you define emptiness, please?
Emptiness. Okay. จิตタンがつdi thero wa emptiness saya diจิตタンがつthat I'm not sure ji penang nga ta tomba ni jadi tomba jadi ingat jiken dik tomba no la kind of emptiness jadi nothingness no tindi marwa yina yang ta karsana ngoni china emptiness labnanda or like yin do make nelo rangi thalatene ta emptiness lab chobrowa then cha shavina ta thanda nga to the ordinary concept and nga to the chi pena chi ke mar ambo nga la tene tene chi ki yu nga la sobi cho dewa nga zo ki jik ta na da ndi yung do zamba tela tene ko rang yi chob dewa ma yin ba wa nga zo be na jik pena evento color pena nga zo yina yang nga zo mundo wina common collection karma tela nga zo mit sama jik para wa tene jetang nga zo da jik serbo do sama tong yo tina tene mo ne ya ho ta wina serbo ko rang yi chob yo marwa Oda tindi indi ta tu persona emptiness ledu logic nothingness tindi ke mares. Tiga na ji sem ko gone ta nyamle chiung be kaula tene sem ge rang ji wu sewa tene tene chi sem khona ke ta tezung go la cheta ma ta sanga nga la ben se tong sung jo de tong sung jo nang tong sung jo ziri ta tele ko tongba yin ba ta yang ti ngo go la tongba tong kyang ba yin ba tindi ji bu ge so wa.
So, in general, when we talk about emptiness or the empty nature of reality, we're not referring to just an outer void of the universe, like a nothingness, an expanse of nothing, a great all-consuming void. This is not the ultimate nature of emptiness. When we talk about emptiness, we can say that it really refers to the underlying ultimate nature of everything in reality. And so now we experience the world through our conceptual mind, and we experience the world through the gateways of our concepts in relationship to the five senses and so forth. And due to our collective karma, for example, humans in our world generally experience the outer world and universe in a similar way, at least to the point where we can discuss it and so forth with most people. And so, in this way, what we experience isn't some nothingness, some void. However, even though we do temporarily experience this outer world and universe as we do through our senses and concepts and so forth, underlying everything we experience, all of this ultimately has the nature of the non-conceptual, luminous nature of the mind that is inseparable from emptiness. And so when we talk about emptiness, sometimes it is discussed, especially in secret mantra, as the union of appearance and emptiness, or luminosity and emptiness. And so this is how we can understand the ultimate underlying emptiness. Or also bliss and emptiness.
What does the word secret mean and secret mantra? Is it like not?
Re ta ti ro chi nga so sanga ro la bre sanga se ya de la ta chi hamre kharsena chi pen sanga de la sanga kharsen thama te ro nyama ro na da ri ro da ro ji te na be sei ki yu de chi yu sa ma ro da ro te ya da ya ma na be sei nyung ro ji te ya ro ji 대양한테는 그 냠내 칭겐 텔라마토 베키치 무타마 public yo ke this one tini labgu yo samarwa tini lo ji lo ma to yang ji sang ji du ko ji ka se de ji zhong lo ji yi sang de wa tini samari.
So secret mantra, when we talk about secret mantra, secret in particular in the old traditions, especially, there is this like secret mantra, twilight, symbolic language that occurs in the different aspects of the tradition. And so everything is, there's a lot of metaphors and symbols. And if you're not really a practitioner and you haven't studied secret mantra, then just seeing the symbols and the metaphors, you wouldn't understand the inner meaning. So, in this way, all these aspects of secret mantra, particularly in the old tradition, uh, because they were hidden in symbols, this is how, you know, the tradition of secret mantra is secret. And so we say secret mantra. The secret here isn't something that is like a hidden fault that you should, you know, not publicly disclose or something. It's not some like negative, like hidden secret.
Yes. 뭐 대가 나이다 가서 직 색직 라브기 요사로 색직 라바텔라직 direct 마인 바나오지. 그 파르조미디 하 코바나오지. 보기 요사로 와.
The directional.
directly 다 텐디다 오지 그 마인 바. When for example techi yoro pena tene ta tana jitande thongsa tene naroba ke tene teloba tsugu yorwa naroba lama tengu yorwa tene teloba ke mazubaya naroba ko da teloba kawa yore labde tene nimaji tene meji to yorwa ina ngone jina ko teloba ke yubana wo insarwa ina ya meji tudu tene chorang teloba ha ko yowe labde o teloba ha ko yo la yorwa ne choranga tendang la yorwa la rochi la de on degrees in the loba 10 degrees in a chonga tambo ropaji chigores then ya of course love the ropachi goes then the re tanga pamani bo sigu yo to ser choropachi then in the loba kawayo chon love go love your da tenda go da tiri da tiji da ti naroba ta ti yung maris the ti ha ropachi to samare ta chu yung maris ta 착당이 보고 똑같이 마시나 저렇게 들어가고 말이스 이나 딱 뭐니 기파마지 라고요 말 이나 거지 다 텔레카스나 이 속도 오지 오고요레스 다 상하게 될라 속들이 직어 착당들이 다 당와로 당와들 파라당 말차 라고도 어다 뒤니 보더니 직
So, secret can also, you know, refer to like a hidden meaning of the words and symbols. For example, the great Mahasiddha of India from like 1,000 years ago, Tilopa, had a student, Naropa. And so when Naropa was trying to find Tilopa, he went around and was asking, you know, where's Tilopa, where's Tilopa? And so he found this person. And, you know, Naropa was like, oh, do you know Tilopa? And this person said, "Oh yeah, I know Tilopa." And Naropa said, "Oh, please, you know, can you show me where Tilopa is? You know, I'll do anything, you know, for your help. You know, please show me, you know, where Tilopa is." And this person said, "Okay, sure. You know, I'll show you where Tilopa is. But first, I have this thing I need help with." And Naropa said, "Okay, yeah, whatever you need, I'll do it." And so then this person said, "Well, you know, I have this problem, and it's my parents, and so I need to kill them. And then so once you kill my parents, then you know I'll show you where Tilopa is for sure."
help me to kill my parents.
Help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or so help me kill my parents. And so then Naropa said, "Oh no, There's no way. I'm not killing you, helping you kill your parents. Like what? You're crazy. And then the person then revealed that it was actually a manifestation of Tilopa all along. And so then Tilopa then said to Naropa, well, Naropa, son, if you do not kill the parents of attachment and aversion, then you will never find the true Naropa, or the true Tilopa of the nature of your mind. So uh, you're not going to meet Tilopa today. And so the meaning of the secret meaning of the parents. So the purpose wasn't that a person was trying to really actually kill their parents and needed Naropa's help. There was this secret mantra meaning of when this manifestation of Tilopa said, I need help killing my parents. The father was really represented aversion, hate, and then the mother represented attachment, desire. And so symbolically, the terms father and mother really represented attachment and aversion, dualistic concepts. And so there was this secret meaning. So that is part of the secret and secret mantra.
Mm.
Back to emptiness, can it be described as a state of non-duality? I think another person that I listen to use it. I remember either the term space or awareness instead of emptiness.
네, 드니라 왜 살아와? 네.
Yeah, pache yin rik double okay.
리타 조 가르산디 ngaso empty seati nature ji tamha course in one chime ngaso empty seati ko the object empty yore 제가 나기 ngaso number to pa sama empty yawa yina te indiko rangi nature to thok marawa te indi ta tik ko ji to de watela tene empty de 제가 나기 다 타망오한테 가고서는 ngaso 지 자자 첨보 이나래 라부요나래 상제 공판 라부요나래 그 소위치 대와리 비 샘지랑 유세와 들어와 이나티 우세와 depth eng에 다다당가서 concept 겐가서 ordinary 그 마인바 인바로 오잖아 샘대와 들라 근데 갈래지 동반이 또 소나 근데 근데 거기 데바트 상도 왜서와
So, in terms of this question about emptiness, is it non-duality? Is it like space and awareness and so forth? Again, emptiness is really referring to the ultimate natural way things truly are. And so when we say empty, we can have an object that is empty of things. And so, on one hand, yes, this emptiness represents an emptiness of concepts when we do not have concepts about things. However, on a deeper level, this emptiness is represented by many different terms and so forth. It can be called Mahamudra, the Great Seal, the Great Perfection. It can be called the nature of Buddhahood, the Buddha mind. All these different metaphors of the union of awareness and emptiness and so forth. Ultimately, though, it refers to the non-conceptual, luminous nature of the mind that is free from all concepts and obscurations. And so when we clear away obscurations and concepts from the nature of the mind, then we see that raw, true nature of emptiness. So that is what is being referred to by all these words.
So is this emptiness or basic luminosity, is that the same as what
when you talked about sending rays, luminous rays out, having them come back and sending them out again? Are those manifestations of emptiness?
Yes, but a little bit different category. So, in that this not so nam saya la ji not that go the same kind of that go tomba ni imba la tene chi tu gro tomba ni mai na chi tu gro ba na re tin res ina yang ko ji yang tanda nga ta ji ya tanda de nga so gro wa so wa no empty na ne ina yang emptiness to ba ti ni bo this car wa.
So, in a way, there, that visualization of emanating and gathering light rays, through that, we are able to accumulate merit because of the empty nature of reality. And so, relying on the empty nature of things, then in our mind, when we do, this emanation of light and making offerings and then gathering back and so forth, we can accumulate merit through emptiness. However, in general, the direct realization of emptiness, when we are abiding without concepts in the empty nature of reality, that's a little bit different kind of context.
After I've accumulated all this merit, what do I do with it?
So the accumulation merit is we need it to achieve enlightenment. So terwa tanga sanje kompa tu gerwa ta tuya ko lakcha na masone sonam terwa ni na ngata view kes emptiness ta kansa ji emptiness to ro toni to ne toni to be kabla ma sonam ki jaten ji yona ni ko ji sem je na ju se cha je chmu ngo tu yo mo do me ji ina ko sonam cha ta kesi ji yang cha je ma de ka toni to yo na ro sonam ki jaten mi na ti stuck del cha de yo sa ro ko sa je tu me do sonam yo ma ro ina ta sa je si de ta no sentient ki tong chi ya ta ngo ne sentient ki tong chi ya tu no ni le yo sa ro
de sanje semshingi yunche tukiyore.
Or sanje na tine automatically sentient ki tong chi no bro.
So then, when we look at merit, we should think of merit as being like a tool that helps us generate, create, manifest enlightenment. When we realize the view of the empty nature of reality, we might actually, recognize that, all things are the nature of the mind. Mahamudra, the raw, luminous, ultimate, non-conceptual ground of reality. We might have the ability to recognize this, but without merit, then we can't abide in that recognition and reach the full fruition of that understanding and realization. And so we can become stuck. And so merit is what allows us, it is the tool that frees us from getting stuck on the path. And so then when we attain full, complete Buddhahood, though, automatically we are able to accomplish benefit for and work for the benefit of, help all sentient beings throughout the universe.
Is there another word for merit? Is karma another word for merit?
Yes, connected to the merit in the karma, but the merit is the 100% positive.
Merit is what?
Na merit the sonam tela da ko 자자자 담발라 데 가르스나 데라와
Yes.
개와라와 개베키초.
Merit is always like virtuous and good karma. Um, but karma itself, if we're talking about merit, it's always good. But if we're talking about karma, sometimes it could be bad.
Yeah, this kind of natural law. So this karma is negative karma, positive karma. So kind of natural. So.
Okay.
So we look up at maybe or any of.
In the light of karma, is affliction with handicap or disease or something like that, this manifestation of negative karma, yes?
What's that? Yes,
Nyumong de Migewa Derbe. De Migewa ki drebu drawo. Oh, did you say afflictions or like sickness?
Oh,
nyomba ina da mege warwa. Ina yang da nasati ko jeta nasati jeta da karma ledari ina nasati ko dramana yorwa. Nasa nani changro ya. Nyan samne samne ya nyamla chidu masum nasa nagi changro urwa. Gashi nasa nani yang le majang ya yungare gashi nasa nani le changro ya yorwa. Ko tele yang negative isigmido.
So in general, basic afflictive emotions lead
Negative
to negative karma. And so those afflictive emotions in general are negative. However, sicknesses can actually occur in different ways. Sometimes experiencing a sickness is the result of us purifying negative karma. And so as we purify negative karma, the outer result is it appears as the symptoms of illness. However, this is the outer appearance of us actually purifying negativity. And so in this way, afflictive emotions aren't good, but sometimes illnesses can actually be the result of merit. Of course, too, sometimes illnesses are the result of negative karma, but sometimes they are the process of purification.
But one of the other things going on is that we have a body that was meant to be to live to 30. And here we are in our 80s, right? So if it's starting to wear out in particular ways, it's probably just genetics.
Rita Jatati, Karsana Gasodila, Tangi Kontua Nayiri, Jayada, Gayada, Nayada, Hiadi, or natural, naturalist. In a little physically.
So, yeah, in a way, in the human realm, birth, old age, sickness, and death, these are just part of the experiences in the human realm. So they're the natural experiences of being human.
Physically.
Yes.
Physically, the mentally is kind of, I think, the depending how they practice. So like for instance, the Milarepa, the love your work, na share all this jigdos, share all the jigne, then tangan yamlen chiba is, gomjaba is, then tanga then share me is labudwa, na chimi new me sensasis, then share me, me is share that nayat in the maze, sondo.
So, how we experience this mentally, though, there's a difference. So Milarepa, he has this famous saying, basically, in the beginning, I became afraid about death, And so, with the fear of death in mind, I went to practice, and I practiced and meditated. And through my practice, then I came to realize the ultimate nature of reality is beyond death. And so now I'm no longer afraid.
I think also he said, I now become deathless,
Or now I am deathless.
yes.
Or yeah, that's it.
What do you think that?
Are you saying desolate? Or
Deathless.
Deathless.
Immortal.
So yes, anyway, we can physically, no longer functioning. But issue is with that means afraid, sick, uncomfortable. So the difficulties there we can just going to be afraid. But practitioners level, they're more, they said like it is like you can change the house or guest house to other guest house. Or like a little bit moving to different places, but not like their feeling is not really something at all. So this amazingly is my uncle too. So this actually many practitioners. So one time he maybe this is not my uncle, the other one. So one Campbell. So then he probably he's old. I think maybe he's 80. I think something. So he's okay, So he's okay. So then he look, and then somebody talking there, Well, today is the 25th day. So the 25th day is considered because Dakinis Day, like special day. So then, so the people talking, oh, today is 25th, this, that. So he hearing, oh, today is 25th day? So somebody, yes. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So weather is very nice today, So then he said, oh, okay. Then somebody offering the yogurt. Oh, good. So he just eat yogurt. And then said, okay. So then he just sat. He passed. He just meditated. So those are, it's like, there is really no doubt. So, and also the practitioners, like I said, more happier, if you, whatever. They know, the physically is not functioning, But mentally, there is no nothing fear and but maybe we get back to the emptiness. So tell about emptiness, the easy way we care about like beginner. So first, how to understanding emptiness is so karsananga so kananga so kujula nyong bada watam yama chi yunda wajila nga so emptiness to go bres. Then that penda wachi sha ina kongto na wachi lambina. In ordinarily, nga so control lang ke jun senta, ko makorang kimbaji ki chi song se ano ji yores. Ina di ko excuse no jeri ma to sono tana, control di me kimbaji mares, control lang something lang yores. Junk sem bahaku bres.
So getting back to emptiness, in the beginning, one of the ways that we can understand emptiness is through looking at understanding the true nature of our afflictive emotions, for example. So, if we look at anger, normally when we give rise to anger,
Whatever anger or worry, whatever something.
so anger, worry, and so forth. normally, if we give rise to anger, there's a reason that we think. We think, okay, I am angry because this person out there, they pissed me off, and I, resent that. And if they wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't be getting angry. It is their fault that I am angry. And so we think that we are angry at somebody outside of ourselves, and there's a person and reason. However, really, if we look at that anger, it's only occurring inside of us. The anger is something inside of us. It's not out there. It's in our own mind.
Right. So also we can analyze, so we have like 10 people, right? So 10 people, the one person make angry. But the 10 people was different, maybe different mind, So maybe some person may be very angry, that person he did, Maybe some maybe not pay attention to anything. So that's why not like enemy. So we have to understanding first, we all mind angry. So ngaso semi chadiores. That's first step.
Pena michu yuna tene mikashe ki sampala o shirang langi.
Wangerwa.
Yine mi shentra la o shirang yomare.
Or it tak object cha yomarwa. Kesi object hina. Na muchu sama chikpa chikcha angry chagrwa na cha yomares. The macha with Jim Central then for Parjoti Matamaris. Some in the particular another for Shata, Penny Jagrawa. Oh, Tilitini, tap object, the child maris. Around Saint Chadioris.
So, just with this example, so like say there is an object, this thing that makes us angry, and we think, oh, that thing makes me angry, and so that is the source of my anger. However, if we not only look at our own response to this object of anger, but we look at the response of 10 other people, we find that those other 10 people that experience the same object, they all might not get angry. Maybe some people get angry, but maybe other people are like, oh, that's nothing. Or maybe a practitioner sees this certain thing that this external stimulus, and they give rise to compassion. And so it's not an object of anger, it's an object of compassion for them. And so this just goes to show that anger is empty. It only exists as a concept in our own mind. There isn't some true external source of our anger.
Kondo sa dewi kabla ngaso machi bi yore ji yoban la gorwa lu yang be de ka thok ru gre cha yang thok ru gre ko ji thok ba hyu yore yin yang samno ya bo dang de anger khawa do sro ka ta ji kondo sa ji chimbo chi sta de so ka na lo ne ta de khawa do ji ta na cho rang mari empty essence cha de gwa cho de o anger ne si yo mata 맞아 대가지 데 카라카라 confusing scenario 맞아 트위디 이거와 트위 송도 되네 직다티 앵가 오늘 인반도 오지 차로 그러와 이는 양고다 섬노 야보다나 직 트와 상면은 되네 앵가 요 말이스.
So when we look really closely at our own minds, for example, when we experience anger, we might think, oh, this anger, I feel this anger, and it really can disrupt our body. We might get really upset and disturbed, like physically. Our blood may rise, and it might make us feel like directly upset and so forth. However, if we look, where is this anger? Where is this afflictive emotion? Where does it exist? We find that there really is no basis for it. It's this empty thing that we have in our mind. And so when we recognize the emptiness of anger and other afflictive emotions, we realize that we've become confused, we've become deluded and held on to these things as being real. And so when we recognize our confusion and delusion and can see the empty nature of afflictive emotions, then they are liberated uh, and we are freed, recognizing their ultimate emptiness.
我的第一大我说的那几大球可让一楼的线路哦，大的个几工作的那个让一没着哈可呢，大几发了哇，的那我说的 concept 的用过的我说的接的被搞了，个概念的用过的的呢，概念的大我说是让弄嘛的，是吧？我说的没那么着就没被搞了，就现在着修有那样，可没那么的呀，汤才的修了。你这边呢？他们没啷提个，我感觉到三个嘛，我没啷的下，我那边的三个哇。我提说了，他们我说就感觉看有那样，我想给侬，他们就个让伊没着的是，三呢，他们都有了，他们我说他就拍一个 object 的了，我说他，哎呀，弄嘛好呀，他们就 free 都差不多的是，他到边呢？
So we realize that afflictive emotions aren't inherently existing. And so when we recognize this, then our problems become like problems in a dream. Even though, we might, see some kind of troubling circumstance, when we recognize that the basis of the afflictive emotions isn't real, then it's not a big deal. We're like, oh, it's just like a problem in a dream. It doesn't really matter. And one is freed from that, realizing the uncreated nature of that afflictive emotion. And so, in this way, if we can practice, then outer objects and external circumstances and so forth cannot harm us.
Like once those I don't know what to call them, anger becomes part of your character. It goes through stages of thinking about being angry, doing anger, doing it so often that all of a sudden it's become part of your character. You don't even know you're doing it anymore. And to raise that up from the being part of your character into your consciousness so that you can start to choose whether to be angry or not, because some situations do require a little anger. Okay? Right? That's the hard part. Is getting it out of the subconscious back up into where you can start making choices of it. And that to me is what meditation is all about. Is getting off of automatic.
Right, yes. Rita current labat and the Sarava. Right. So this, So of course we are born here, So born here, we all I know angry, this afflictive emotion. No, there we can not should they expecting. Yes, of course we get here, So we have physical, so we have 5 senses, 5 objects, sometimes worry, sometimes angry. Of course, this is naturally in our rights, That's okay. But then, I think we can say maybe first concept, whatever afflictive emotions naturally come, that's normal, We're not expecting, I'm never angry, no way, right? But then the second choice is realize, this anger. So there's sort of like control, you can stop. Or you can realize empty, essence. That is like the important part that he said, right? So this then we can control. So kind of interesting, so these afflictive emotions comes and goes. So not actually this, if you live long, they go away quickly. But we try to repeat again, So they create. So of course we angry, right? Some reason, yes, that's okay. But then we do why he doing that, what that is wrong. So this can't repeat again. So that's the worst part. Otherwise, they said kind of like naturally despair, right? Despair. Yeah, despair. So like they said that like with drawing the water, right? Drawing the water. So something there maybe look up at right first beginning. But live long, they are no drawing anything, just go away. The same way we just tell us that if the practitioners 혀도 두냠 the 혀 남도 혀그레스 갈레어 파토르소나 then practitioner 라고도.
So, when the afflictive emotions and discursive thoughts are liberated upon arising, then you can say you're a practitioner.
Say that again, please.
When afflictive emotions and discursive thoughts, when we recognize their empty nature in our minds as they appear in our minds, when anger arises, oh, I'm angry, but then simultaneously we're like, oh, but there's no reason because everything's empty. Then if that occurs in the same moment, then we're a practitioner.
But also, yeah, main thing is, so we actually also we thinking about, sometimes we, I don't know, so it's kind of misjudge. So really every sentient beings or every single person, me or you, they want happy, right? That's sure. They want. They don't want the difficulties, the problems. So, like for example, if really I want happy, and then really my job is not to create difficulties. But sometimes I say, oh, I really want happy. I realize no problem. I don't want the problems. But then the action is called sort of like disturbing, may create. So they're thinking ourselves too, so right? Okay, I don't want to be problems or issues or difficulties. I wish, I want. So then I don't want to create. So then also, because this is the others cannot make, peace and happy. So we have to, if really I want happy, I can happy make myself. That's real happy, Some people say, oh, you're very nice, you're very pretty. But that's really superficial. Maybe one moment, oh yeah, he's a nice thing, but not deep. They're really superficial, But myself, I found happy. So that is real happy, authentic happy. So in order to real happy, so then I'm not disturbing my own, not disturbing. But don't worry about others, So this keep going practice, and also very important is if there is, of course, I say this. Here we call sometimes we call samsara. Samsara means the problems. So problems everywhere, So we know where to escape, whatever problems, issues, they come up automatically. But same time, that's okay. I said, that's okay. That's nature. But the most important part is not to repeat, not karmic input on mind. So sometimes if you're really angry person, maybe angry again, that's a kind of excuse other people angry. Each time angry, like karma input, you're easy to angry or whatever negatives. Maybe you're too much worry again. Then you're easy to worry. Maybe no reason, but still worry. Or some people are really angry, repeat again, angry, and then later on, maybe everything is no reason, but you're angry. Sometimes you're angry to a table or angry to the cow. So, some people are angry to hammer, like hammer. Carpenters just throw the hammer. What the benefit? So, but sometimes difficult, but we have to work, So then, if not karma input, same thing, we have to karma familiar done practice of meditation. Familiar, the beginning is difficult, but or compassion or you familiar, empty or meditation. Yeah, beginning is difficult, but slowly, karma input easier. And later on, there's no problem. So yeah, very important. Whatever, negative things, just it comes, but not repeated. Okay, so do you have some questions?
Oh, there's one person online.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Rinpoche.
Yeah.
I would like if you could please talk a bit about the fivefold light rays that come out from Tara. And I have two other questions, but that would be the first one. Can you talk about that, the fivefold light rays?
Fivefold light rays.
Okay. Right. So Tera Cheta China and so the offering chia la nga rela, in color nga Yungrova.
The user
Nga Ambote.
yore.
Tini Tilly Young, Tinga Nan Jig Yang Nga Yang Jig Nga Tini multiple Chagrova. In a Tambo Nga was that much so the main color is 5 colors, so that's some design, or maybe the percent of 5 with the family, so on. So
okay.
So, when one way of kind of looking at the light rays, in general, the light rays are described as these fivefold light rays, and so this represents like the 5 colors, or kind of also like rainbow colors and so forth. But when we are visualizing light rays, one way to do this is to imagine that each stream of light ray has like this fivefold aspect, and then from each one of those has 5 colors, and then each end of light ray branches off into 5 more, 5-fold like light rays and so forth, until all infinite reality is covered with light rays. That's one style. Also, the 5 colors, we can think about them as being related to the 5 Buddha families as well. That's another part of it.
Would the 5 elements be involved in that, or not so much also?
Yeah. Possible, yes.
So all of that.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
And
another question is the Tom. The Tom in the practice that arises. Could you talk about that? I'm going to call it a character, but it's a group of characters, right? Could you talk about that, please?
Tam Sia Sit Sleep or Yoris. in a seriously about condition ladu yata ko tam di thangbo kora tara majung on tam chung yoris tin ko seriously about ta cha che ko teres yata nga so ngonjang nga chi di benang ngonjang nga chi do ni yata nga so telin do re ta sa do chung tang de pen do chi na nga so ji ji bu cha wa na yi wa bu cha wa de bu cha do ta thangbo 참아 말았는데 이나 강다직 탐에 코탄 제베 갑라 이네지 이게 속으로 이제 차비에서 와 다티 그 속문이 차요 말와 딜레 때는 되네지 되네 마선을 그 창산을 쓰는 다티 마 속성 차온 거다 참아도 돼 용서 말이야 어때자 쳔보리 시슬리보 되네 시슬리보다 담요리 공요 담다 따라노 담으로 다티 이네데 샤코나 고레스
So, so the seed syllable, one way of understanding the seed syllable is it is the very kind of basis of the nature of the deity. And this is really related to when we meditate on the generation stage, we generate ourselves in a parallel way to also purify how we take birth in this world. And so there's this process called the 5 manifestations of enlightenment, which are the pure aspects of how we normally take birth as a human. And so in a normal human birth, there's the empty womb. The second is the union of the sperm and the egg, the mother and father elements. And then the third is the life, the moment of conception that takes place through the union of the sperm and the egg. And then the fourth is the embryo that grows in the womb. And then the fifth is the fully complete baby that is born. And so in the secret mantra tradition, we meditate on emptiness as the parallel, the pure aspect of the womb. And then we meditate on the sun and the moon discs as the pure aspect of the mother, our mothers and fathers. And then we meditate on the seed syllable, which is the pure aspect of the fertilized egg, the conception. And then we meditate on the hand implement, which is the pure aspect of the embryo. And then we meditate on the fully complete deity, which is the pure aspect of the fully complete human taking birth. So the seed syllable really is the the seed of the deity that has the parallel with the fertilized kind of that moment of conception.
That's really fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have to want to pause a second before even asking another question. All right. Thank you. In that practice also, it says 2 bodhicittas. I have never experienced that phrase before, 2 bodhicittas. Could you please also talk about that? Thank you.
Chanchukisamni.
That thing the relative the ultimate bodhicitta. Right.
So yeah, Ray.
So relative and ultimate. Oh, okay.
Relative and ultimate bodhicitta.
I just never saw that. Thank you. Oh, Rinpoche, thank you for allowing us to ask so many questions. I'm sure all of us are really so delighted with this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So also if you have some more questions, we go into afternoon.
Thank you. Good. Wow.
Okay.